Good afternoon. I'm Kimberly Patrick, KSDAR State Reporter, and I am joined by Becky Spalding, KSDAR State VIS Chair.
Hello, everybody.
In this presentation, we're going to share with you tips and tricks, guidelines, and other information to help your chapter and your members be successful with both social media and websites. There are many different social media platforms available. Make sure that you don't overextend yourself and try to populate too many platforms, as you will struggle to keep up with each one. Focus just on those where your members and prospective members are likely to be. Look at the demographics for these social media applications to determine your target audience. On this slide, I've listed the most popular social media sites with the statistics for each one. As you can see, Facebook has the majority of U.S. women using it, and it's across all age ranges. This is one reason why most DAR chapters utilize this site. If you look at Twitter, only 34% of users are female, so it probably would not be worth your time to focus on this application. Though Pinterest has a large segment of women utilizing it, it is a difficult platform for a group to use. It is more of a craft and idea site. If you have a lot of computer users in your chapter and members capable of preparing videos and editing them, then YouTube might be useful, but it is very time-consuming to prepare content. As you probably see, Facebook is probably the best option for chapter communications and for attracting prospective members. Facebook offers both public and private options for organizations and users. So let's talk about public pages. If your chapter has a public page, you can use it to promote DAR activities, encourage and attract prospective members, provide accurate and encouraging information about DAR, and you can answer questions from prospective members. Please remember, do not communicate DAR chapter or state business on a public site. You don't want to get into arguments with people on this page, and make sure to have several moderators monitoring the site so that they can remove any negative, abusive, or other posts that do not maintain the DAR values. Also, it is important not to post any email addresses or links to closed pages in posts on a public site. On a private page, make sure that it is closed, meaning members have to be invited or it is password protected. This is for DAR members only, and you must have a verification process required to access this page. If you have asked to join the KSDAR Facebook page and have not been granted access, then that means you did not provide answers to all of the questions. You can use the closed sites to discuss DAR business, post notices, share newsletters, share informative material with DAR members, and celebrate achievements. Please note, a minimum of 2 administrators is required for KSDAR chapter social media platforms. This is to ensure that there is monitoring and to ensure continuity on the site. NSDAR has specific guidelines for chapter, state, and national social media pages. One that is especially relevant right now is that there is to be no political posts or comments and absolutely no hate speech allowed. This includes negative comments about DAR members or others. Also, no fundraising is allowed on DAR social media sites. If you have someone that is on your Facebook page and they do paste something on that is negative or does not conform, you need to make sure that your moderators can remove that material. Also, make sure that they notify the person as to why that material was removed. Use caution when posting links and email addresses. Some links can open your page to phishing or allowing non-members to access the site. KSDAR has its own guidelines for the KSDAR Facebook page. It is for KSDAR members only. When someone asks to join, we look at our membership roster to make sure that you are a member. So if you are not already a member of the KSDAR Facebook group, search Facebook for KSDAR. When you find the page, ask to join, provide your member number, your chapter name, and answer yes that you will follow the guidelines. This page is available to share chapter and state news, chapter or individual projects, historical events and information, and of course, when you have something to celebrate. We DAR members love to celebrate. Make sure your posts are relevant to DAR. You can even repost from NSDAR and other DAR Facebook groups. KSDAR has new social media guidelines. These entail that all social media pages, opened or closed, must invite the state VIS chair as a member of the group. Temporary administrative privileges may be requested for monitoring purposes as needed. Credentials for chapter accounts must be given to the chapter regent, the state regent, and to the chapter and state VIS chair for their permanent records. This is very important for the continuity. Make sure that you create a chapter account, such as Polly Ogden to be the owner administrator as a backup for emergencies. No single person or chapter owns any online DAR presence. The state regent is ultimately responsible for any online presence in her state, and that includes chapters. These guidelines are to ensure your sites adhere to NSDAR guidelines and ensure your site is a positive representation of your chapter, KSDAR, and NSDAR. More details can be found on the KSDAR members page under VIS. Now, Becky will tell you about websites. Take it away, Becky.
Thank you, Kimberly, for that information on social media websites. Are you ready to update or create your chapter website? An online presence for your chapter or state is one of the most powerful public relation tools you can use. A website that is easy to navigate keeps them browsing longer and generates interest in a new member. Why should I have a website? A chapter or state website is the public face for DAR and a great recruiting tool. The main goal of a site is to attract new members, provide a way for the public to contact your chapter or state and tell them what you are doing in the community, how you are making a difference. The key question is to ask before deciding on any content you will use, will this information be interesting to the public, especially to a prospective member? Decide where you will host your website. On the KSDAR website, you can host your website. For example, ksdar.org/Topeka. This is free with your $3 per year contribution to the state. You can create the website on a platform and you can download the files. Please do not use Weebly, as we have discovered that this is very difficult to extract the website and move it to the KSDAR website. You can also host on your own website. For example, CaptainJessieLeavenworth.com. You will pay your own hosting fees, and you want to choose a site that will allow you to make changes easily. Keep in mind, you will still be paying your $3 fee to the state every year. You want to use the NSDAR guidelines when creating your website. All websites must go through the state VIS chair and NSDAR approval process before they can be published. This prevents any content from being displayed that is not following the NSDAR guidelines. Do not use the DAR insignia. Do use the new DAR logo. Then you want to advertise it. Get that website out there. You can use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram to share a link to your public website. Use your public Facebook page to highlight what your chapter is doing in your community. Share those photos, share what you are doing, and make sure you add those prospective members to the PMD. And always, you can contact Kimberly or myself for any additional assistance that you need.
Thanks, Becky, and thanks everyone for joining.